We all face problems, challenges that seem too big, obstacles that look impossible, situations that make us wonder if we'll ever see a way out. Maybe you're dealing with a financial struggle, a health issue, a broken relationship, or uncertainty about your future. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to think, this is too much for me, I don't know what to do. But I want to remind you today, there is a solution to every problem you're facing. It may not always come the way you expect, and it may not happen overnight, but the answer is already on its way. See, problems are not meant to stop you, they're meant to prepare you. Every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Every obstacle is a stepping stone to something greater. When you change your perspective, you change your outcome. Instead of saying, this is too hard, I can't handle it, start saying, this is making me stronger. This is teaching me something. This is leading me to a greater breakthrough. The secret to solving problems isn't just about having all the answers. It's about having the right mindset. It's about believing that solutions already exist, that breakthroughs are already lined up, and that what seems impossible is about to turn around in your favor. Think about a puzzle. At first, all you see is a mess of scattered pieces. It doesn't make sense, it looks confusing, but as you keep working, as you stay patient, as you trust the process, the picture starts coming together. That's how life works. Your solution is already in motion. Sometimes the answer is waiting on the other side of persistence, when you refuse to give up. Sometimes the answer comes when you step back, let go of worry, and trust that things will work out in the right time and way. And sometimes the answer is already within you. You just have to believe you have the wisdom and strength to move forward. Whatever you're facing today, don't be discouraged, don't give up, and don't believe the lie that there's no way out. There is always a way. Stay hopeful, stay faithful, and watch as the answers begin to unfold. The solution is already closer than you think. Every problem has a solution. It may not always be obvious. It may not always come the way you expect, but there is always a way forward. Too often when we face challenges, we allow fear and doubt to convince us that there's no answer, that we're stuck, that things will never change. But that is simply not true. Just because you don't see the solution right now doesn't mean it isn't there. Just because the road ahead looks uncertain doesn't mean the path isn't unfolding in your favor. Think about a locked door. If you don't have the key, it can feel like you're trapped, like there's no way through. But the reality is the key already exists. You just have to find it. In the same way, every problem you're facing right now has an answer, a breakthrough, a resolution that is already in motion. Sometimes it takes patience. Sometimes it requires a shift in perspective. And sometimes the answer comes when you least expect it. But no matter what, there is a way forward. When challenges come, the first step is to stop focusing on how big the problem is and start focusing on the possibility of a solution. The mind has a way of magnifying difficulties, making them seem larger than they really are. But when you choose to believe that a solution exists, you shift from fear to faith, from worry to wisdom, from frustration to action. Your outlook determines your outcome. Think about people who have achieved great things in life. They didn't do it without obstacles. They didn't do it without setbacks. But what set them apart is that they didn't let the problem define them. They found a way through. They believed that if they kept moving forward, if they kept searching for answers, the solution would come. And it always does. Maybe you're facing a situation right now that seems impossible. You've tried everything and it feels like nothing is changing. But don't give up. Don't assume that just because you haven't found the answer yet, it doesn't exist. Sometimes the answer is just around the corner. Sometimes the breakthrough is one step away. And sometimes what feels like the end is really just the beginning of something greater. No matter what you're facing, no matter how difficult it may seem, there is a solution. Keep believing, keep searching, and keep moving forward. The answer is already on its way. Challenges are opportunities for growth. At first, they may not seem that way. When difficulties arise, the natural response is to feel frustrated, discouraged, or even defeated. We wonder, why is this happening to me? Or how will I ever get through this? But what if that challenge wasn't meant to stop you? What if it was meant to strengthen you? What if the very thing that seems like an obstacle is actually a stepping stone to something greater? Every difficulty carries within it the potential for growth. Just like a muscle needs resistance to become stronger, your character, your wisdom, and your resilience are developed through the challenges you face. Without pressure, diamonds don't form. Without heat, gold isn't refined. Without resistance, you won't reach your full potential. Think about a seed buried in the ground. To the outside world, it looks like nothing is happening. It's in a dark place, covered by dirt, seemingly forgotten. But what's really happening? The seed is growing. The roots are forming. The foundation is being set. Before long, it pushes through the surface and begins to flourish. In the same way, when you face challenges, you are not buried, you are planted. The struggle is not the end, it's part of your process of growth. Some of the greatest breakthroughs come from the hardest battles. The people who accomplish the most in life aren't the ones who never faced obstacles, they're the ones who learned how to grow through them. They didn't let challenges break them, they let challenges build them. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this teaching me? How is this preparing me? What strength is being developed in me through this? The truth is, nothing you go through is wasted. Every challenge is shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for what's ahead. What seems like a setback is often a setup for something greater. What looks like an ending is actually a beginning. When you change your perspective, you change your experience. Instead of seeing difficulties as roadblocks, start seeing them as opportunities to rise higher, to gain wisdom, to become stronger, and to step into the person you were created to be. So when challenges come, don't shrink back, stand tall. Don't run from them. Embrace them as part of your growth. You are not being held back. You are being prepared for something greater. Keep going, keep learning, and watch as every challenge turns into an opportunity for growth, strength, and success. Your mindset determines your outcome. The way you think, the perspective you choose, and the beliefs you hold all shape the direction of your life. Two people can face the same challenge. One sees it as an impossible obstacle, the other as an opportunity to grow. One gives up, the other presses forward. What makes the difference? Mindset. The truth is, life is not just about what happens to you, it's about how you respond. You can't always control circumstances, but you can always control your attitude. You can decide whether you'll focus on the problem or the possibility, the setback or the solution. You can choose to live with a mindset of faith, confidence, and expectation, or one of doubt, fear, and negativity. The choice is yours. Think about an eagle. When a storm comes, other birds hide. But the eagle does something different. It spreads its wings and rises above the storm. The very winds that threaten to bring it down actually lift it higher. That's what happens when you shift your mindset. Instead of seeing difficulties as things that will break you, you start seeing them as things that will make you stronger. Instead of saying, I can't handle this, you say, I am equipped for this. Instead of thinking, this is too much for me, you declare, this is preparing me for greater things. Your thoughts create the reality you experience. If you constantly focus on what's wrong, you'll feel overwhelmed, discouraged, and stuck. But when you focus on solutions, on what's possible, on what's ahead, your entire outlook changes. You start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You start to expect favor, breakthroughs, and blessings instead of waiting for things to go wrong. This is why two people can go through the same situation, yet have completely different outcomes. One is defeated, the other rises. One gives up, the other grows stronger. It's not because one had an easier path, it's because one had the right mindset. The victorious mindset leads to a victorious life. Maybe you're facing a challenge right now that seems overwhelming. Maybe you've been telling yourself, this is never going to change. I'll never get past this. But today I want to encourage you. Shift your mindset. Start speaking faith. Start believing for solutions. Start expecting breakthroughs. The moment you change your thoughts, you change your path. So decide today. I will not let fear control me. I will not let doubt hold me back. I will choose faith over fear, confidence over insecurity, and expectation over worry. When you think like a champion, you begin to live like one. And when you live like one, there is nothing you can't overcome. Solutions often come in unexpected ways. When we face challenges, it's natural to look for answers. in ways that seem logical or familiar. We expect the solution to come through the people we know, the resources we have, or the plans we've carefully laid out. But more often than not, breakthroughs don't happen the way we expect. The answer you need may come from a direction you never considered. Think about a time in your life when you were struggling with something, and just when you thought there was no way out, the solution appeared. Maybe through an unexpected opportunity, a conversation with the right person, or a door opening that you didn't even know existed. That wasn't a coincidence. That was proof that answers don't always come the way we plan, but they always come when we stay open, patient, and expectant. Sometimes we get so focused on how we think things should happen that we miss what's already unfolding. We assume that if one plan fails, the whole thing is over. But what if that closed door was actually leading you to something better? What if the delay was setting you up for the perfect opportunity? What if the answer is already right in front of you, just in a form you didn't expect? Think about a GPS. When you're driving and miss a turn, the system doesn't shut down and say, sorry, you're lost forever. No, it recalculates. It finds a new route. The destination hasn't changed. The path just looks different than what you originally planned. Life works the same way. When one plan falls through, it doesn't mean you're stuck. It just means the answer is coming from another direction. One of the biggest mistakes we can make is to limit our thinking to only one way of solving a problem. When you stay open, when you trust that the right doors will open at the right time, you free yourself from unnecessary stress. Your answer may come through an unexpected job offer, a random conversation, a new idea, or even a challenge that turns into an opportunity. So if you're facing a situation that seems impossible, don't be discouraged. Just because you can't see the answer yet doesn't mean it's not on the way. Stay open, stay expectant, and trust that solutions often come in ways you never imagined. The answer is closer than you think. Persistence leads to breakthroughs. Too often when we face challenges, we're tempted to give up too soon. We pray, we work hard, we do everything we know to do, but when we don't see immediate results, we start to lose hope. We think, maybe it's not meant to be. Maybe this is as far as I'll go. But the truth is, many times the breakthrough is just beyond the moment when most people quit. The difference between success and failure is often persistence. Think about a seed planted in the ground for days, weeks, even months. Nothing seems to be happening. If you didn't know better, you might think the seed had failed, but beneath the surface, something is taking place. Roots are growing deep, the foundation is being laid, and at the right time, that seed will push through the soil and begin to flourish. The same is true in life. Just because you don't see progress doesn't mean growth isn't happening. Just because the breakthrough hasn't come yet doesn't mean it's not on the way. Many of the greatest success stories are not about talent, intelligence, or luck. They are about persistence. They are about people who refused to give up when things got tough. When doors closed, they knocked again. When they fell down, they got back up. When they faced rejection, they kept believing. That's what makes the difference. You may be facing a challenge right now that seems impossible. Maybe you've been waiting for an opportunity, working toward a dream, or believing for a breakthrough, but it feels like nothing is changing. Let me remind you, don't give up. Keep pressing forward. Stay faithful in the process. You are closer than you think. Every no brings you closer to a yes. Every setback is setting you up for a greater comeback. Every challenge is making you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what's ahead. The key is to keep going. Think about water dripping on a rock. One drop doesn't make much difference. 10 drops don't seem to change anything. But if that water keeps dripping day after day, eventually it wears down the hardest stone. That's the power of persistence. Little by little, step by step, breakthrough happens. So whatever you're believing for, whatever dream is in your heart, whatever challenge you're facing, don't stop now. Your persistence is the key. Keep pushing, keep trusting, and keep moving forward, because the breakthrough is coming. Sometimes stepping back and trusting the process brings clarity. In life, we can often feel the pressure to act quickly, to have all the answers right away, to make things happen on our own terms. But sometimes the best thing you can do is take a step back, breathe, and allow things to unfold naturally. It may feel counterintuitive, but in those moments of stillness, you often gain the clarity you need to move forward with confidence and purpose. When you're caught in the middle of a challenge, it's easy to become overwhelmed. You want to fix everything at once, but the more you try to control the situation, the more chaotic it may feel. This is when the power of stepping back comes into play. When you step back, you're not giving up. You're allowing yourself the space to clear your mind, to reflect, and to trust that things are falling into place, even when you can't see the full picture yet. Think about the process of building something, like constructing a building or putting together a puzzle. At times, you need to step back and get a different perspective to see how the pieces fit together. If you're too focused on the details, you may miss the bigger picture. In the same way, when you're going through something challenging, you can't always see the solution when you're too close to the problem. Stepping back allows you to see things with fresh eyes. It helps you gain perspective. When you trust the process, you also trust that things will work out in their own time. There's a natural flow to life, and sometimes the timing of things is just as important as the actions you take. Things are aligning even when you don't feel it. You may not see the answer right now, but that doesn't mean it's not on its way. Stepping back gives you the space to listen to your intuition, to hear the wisdom within, and to recognize the signs that are pointing you in the right direction. Remember, it's okay to pause. It's okay to not have all the answers right now. Trust that the process is leading you exactly where you need to be. Just like a river that moves through rocks and valleys, trust that the flow of your life is guiding you toward your purpose. Sometimes the best decision you can make is to be still, trust, and wait for the clarity to come. So the next time you feel overwhelmed or uncertain, take a deep breath, step back, and give yourself the grace to trust the journey. Things are working out behind the scenes. The clarity you need is on its way, and the solution will come at the perfect time. Trust the process. Fear and worry block solutions. Replace them with faith and confidence. It's easy to let fear take hold of us when we face uncertainty. When things aren't going as planned, it's natural to worry, to doubt, and to wonder if things will ever get better. But fear and worry are not solutions. They are distractions. They cloud our judgment and prevent us from seeing the opportunities that are right in front of us. When fear and worry take root, they consume our thoughts, drain our energy, and make us feel powerless. We start to focus on everything that could go wrong instead of what could go right. But here's the truth. Fear is the enemy of progress. When we give into it, we close ourselves off to the possibilities that could lead us to breakthrough. We freeze, we hesitate, and we stay stuck. But you have a choice. You don't have to let fear control you. You don't have to give in to worry. Instead, you can replace those negative thoughts with faith and confidence. Faith sees the solution before it appears. Confidence knows that no matter how difficult things may seem, you have the strength, the wisdom, and the courage to handle whatever comes your way. Faith doesn't mean there won't be challenges. It means you trust that no matter what happens, the answer is already on the way. Faith means knowing that every setback is setting you up for something greater. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about knowing that you are enough, exactly as you are, and that you are equipped to handle whatever life throws your way. When you replace fear with faith, you unlock a new level of clarity and creativity. You begin to see the solutions that were always there, but you couldn't see through the fog of worry. When you replace worry with confidence, you open the door to opportunities you didn't know existed. Faith and confidence give you the strength to keep moving forward even when the road looks uncertain. Think about it. When you're confident, you take action. When you have faith, you stay hopeful and patient, trusting that things are working out even when you can't see the full picture. Fear, on the other hand, causes you to hold back. Worry makes you second-guess yourself and hesitate, but faith and confidence give you the courage to take the next step, even when you don't have all the answers. So today, I challenge you. Replace your fear with faith. Replace your worry with confidence. Start believing that solutions are already on their way. Trust that you are capable, you are equipped, and you are deserving of the breakthrough that's coming. When you walk in faith and confidence, you open the door to the solutions that will bring you forward into a life of peace, progress, and purpose. You already have the strength and wisdom to overcome what you're facing. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes it can feel like you're in over your head. You may face circumstances that seem too big, problems that seem unsolvable, or situations that seem impossible to navigate. It's easy to feel overwhelmed and think, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I don't have what it takes. But I want to remind you today, you are stronger than you realize, and you already possess the wisdom you need to face your challenges. We often underestimate our own abilities. We look at the problem and think we don't have the skills, the resources, or the know-how to solve it. But the truth is, within you is a well of strength that has carried you through every hardship you've faced so far. You've been through tough times before, and here you are, still standing, still moving forward. You've made it through challenges that at one point seemed impossible. The same strength that got you through those moments is still within you now, ready to carry you through this new season. Now, wisdom isn't always about knowing all the answers. It's about trusting that you already know what you need to do. It's about listening to your inner voice, trusting your intuition, and taking action based on the knowledge you've gained from your past experiences. You don't have to have all the answers at once. You just have to trust that the right step will be revealed at the right time. You have the wisdom inside of you to make good decisions, to find solutions, and to keep moving forward, even when the way seems unclear. Think about the times in your life when you've had to rely on your own strength to overcome. You didn't know how you would make it through, but somehow you did. The strength you found during those times was already within you. It just had to be called out. And now when you're facing something challenging again, that same strength is available to you. You've faced obstacles before, and you can face them again. It's important to remember that strength doesn't always look like power or force. Sometimes strength is patience. Sometimes strength is persistence. Sometimes strength is simply putting one foot in front of the other, even when you don't know what's ahead. The wisdom you need to overcome is already in your heart. It's in your ability to trust the process, to take one step at a time, and to have faith that you're equipped to handle what comes your way. So, no matter what you're facing right now, I want you to remind yourself, you already have everything you need to get through this. The strength and wisdom you've built over the years are already inside you. You are more than capable of overcoming whatever is in your path. Trust yourself, trust the journey, and know that with each challenge you face, you are becoming even stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the next step in your journey. Problems are like puzzles. Piece by piece, the picture comes together. Life is filled with moments that feel confusing, overwhelming, or unsolvable. You might find yourself facing a situation where things don't seem to make sense, and no matter how hard you try, you can't see how it's all going to come together. You wonder, why am I dealing with this? What's the bigger picture? It's in these moments, when things feel disjointed and unclear, that it's important to remember this. Just like a puzzle, every problem has a solution, and little by little, the pieces will fit together. At first glance, a puzzle looks like chaos. A puzzle looks like chaos. Pieces scattered all over the table, edges, corners, colors, shapes, none of which seem to connect. It's easy to get frustrated and want to give up, thinking, this is too much, I'll never figure it out. But when you start focusing on the process, when you start patiently looking for one piece at a time, things begin to fall into place. You realize that each piece matters, even the ones that don't seem to fit at first. Slowly, the image starts to form and you begin to see the bigger picture. Life's problems work in much the same way. In times of difficulty, it's important to take a step back and recognize that every problem is made up of smaller pieces, and each piece holds its own lesson. You may not have the full answer yet, but if you keep moving forward, making for the next piece, making one small decision at a time, eventually the entire picture will come into focus. And just like solving a puzzle, sometimes the key is patience. Sometimes the solution isn't immediately clear, but with persistence and trust in the process, you begin to see how each step leads you closer to the answer. When you're piecing together a puzzle, it's easy to get frustrated with the pieces that don't seem to fit. But what if the piece that doesn't fit right now is just setting you up for the perfect next piece? In life, you may encounter setbacks, delays, or unexpected twists, but those are part of the process. Each difficulty is like a puzzle piece that's contributing to the overall picture of your life. The pieces that don't seem to make sense at the moment may be the very ones that will provide the clarity you need later on. You don't have to have it all figured out at once. Trust that each moment is preparing you for what's ahead. In fact, sometimes the most challenging parts of a puzzle are the moments when you have to try different pieces, fail, and try again. This is where growth happens. Each failure is simply a step closer to success. It's not about getting everything right the first time. It's about the process of trial and error. The more you try, the more you learn, and the more equipped you become for the next step. The same goes for life. The problems you face aren't obstacles, they're opportunities. Every challenge you encounter is a chance to learn, to grow, and to build the skills you need to solve the bigger picture. Sometimes it feels like things are falling apart, but in reality, they're falling into place. When you trust that every problem has a solution and that you're capable of solving it, you begin to see life's challenges in a new light. What seems like a puzzle today is a masterpiece in the making. It's also important to remember that a puzzle isn't solved all at once. It's done one piece at a time. You don't need to have all the answers today. You don't need to know exactly how everything will turn out. The key is to keep looking for the next piece and trusting that it will fit. Each decision you make, no matter how small it may seem, is a step toward completing the picture. Every moment, every challenge, every lesson learned is a piece of the puzzle that's bringing you closer to the answer. The process may take time, but it's leading you to something beautiful. As you work through your own puzzles in life, remember, it's okay not to have all the answers right away. It's okay to take it one step at a time, trusting that each piece of the puzzle is valuable. Every piece, every step, every lesson matters. And as you keep moving forward with patience, faith, and determination, you'll find that eventually the picture becomes clear. What once seemed like a disjointed mess will come together to reveal something greater than you could have imagined. Keep going, because the solution is coming piece by piece. The solution is already on its way. Stay hopeful and keep moving forward. Life is full of moments when we face challenges, obstacles, or situations that feel insurmountable. At times, it can feel like we're trapped, stuck in a cycle of uncertainty, and unable to see the way out. We may start to question, how am I going to get through this? What's the next step? But here's something important to remember. The solution is already on its way. Even if you can't see it yet, trust that things are moving in the right direction. Keep your hope alive and continue moving forward, because the breakthrough you need is closer than you think. When you're in the middle of a difficult situation, it's easy to become focused on the problem. You start to see nothing but the obstacles in front of you, and it can feel like they're too big to overcome. In those moments, it's important to pause and take a step back. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. Sometimes the best thing you can do is stop looking for the solution and trust that it's already working its way to you. Even when you don't see it, things are happening behind the scenes. Think about a seed planted in the ground. When you first plant it, all you see is the dirt covering it. You may wonder, is anything even happening down there? But beneath the surface, the roots are growing and life is beginning to take shape. The seed doesn't have to worry or try harder. It simply has to trust the process. In time, the solution, the growth, will break through the soil. Your life is no different. The solution to your problem is already being prepared, and with time, it will reveal itself. We often get impatient when we don't see immediate results, but it's important to remember that solutions don't always come overnight. Sometimes the timing is perfect, even though we can't see it yet. What may seem like a setback today could be positioning you for something greater tomorrow. Stay hopeful, because the right opportunity, the right person, the right solution is on its way to you at the perfect time. It's easy to become discouraged when things aren't happening as quickly as we want them to, but don't lose sight of what's happening underneath the surface. Each small step you take, no matter how insignificant it may seem, is bringing you closer to the solution. Every prayer, every effort, every day of patience is planting a seed. Trust that what you're doing is not in vain. Even when you don't see progress on the outside, you're still moving forward. The solution is in motion, even if it's not visible yet. Sometimes the hardest part is staying hopeful when everything around you feels uncertain, when the answer doesn't seem to be coming quickly enough. It's easy to get frustrated and start doubting, but hope is the bridge that connects where you are to where you want to be. Hope says, I don't know how this is going to work out, but I believe it will. Hope is the belief that even in the midst of struggle, something good is on the horizon. And hope gives you the strength to keep moving forward one step at a time. Keep in mind that just because you don't have all the answers doesn't mean they're not coming. You may not see the solution yet, but that doesn't mean it's not on its way. Sometimes we need to trust the timing of life. Things are aligning even when you can't see it. Just as the sun rises and sets without fail, know that the solution to your problem is rising. The pieces are falling into place, even when you don't see the full picture yet. All you need to do is keep moving forward with hope and confidence. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. Whatever you're facing, trust that the solution is already working its way to you. Life is always in motion, and sometimes what seems like a delay is simply preparation for what's to come. The obstacles you're facing today are making you stronger, more resilient, and more ready for the breakthrough that's coming. Keep moving forward, one step at a time, and keep trusting that the answer is just around the corner. Stay hopeful. Even when you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, keep walking. The solution is already on its way. And when it arrives, it will be more than worth the wait. Stay hopeful, stay patient, and above all, keep moving forward. You are closer than you think. As we close today, I want to remind you that no matter what you're facing, no matter how big the challenge or how long the journey feels, the solution is already on its way. Life has a way of unfolding exactly as it should. And even when things seem unclear or uncertain, trust that everything is working together for your good. Every step you take, every decision you make, and every bit of patience you show is moving you closer to the breakthrough you've been waiting for. So I encourage you to stay hopeful, keep moving forward, and trust the process. You are stronger than you realize, and you are never alone in this. The answers you seek are coming, piece by piece. And with each new day, you're getting closer to the life you're meant to live. Believe in the journey, trust in the timing, and remember, the solution is already on its way. Keep your faith strong, your hope alive, and continue to move forward with confidence. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Keep going.